What's going on? Move the mouse back in City Skylines. Let's play Season 12, Episode number 2. And there are so many rocks in the roads. I got to figure that out. I also got to tell you about some problems that we had in the last episode. So let me zoom in down here for a minute. I do have some mods installed. Most of them are visual at this point. And one of the ones that I had enabled is called Hide Problems. I think Politicians mod, aka Politicians mod. Anyways, let me just show you real quick. If I come up here and turn off this power plant, we get that little icon that says, hey, this is off. And I'm imagining people are going to start having power problems. If I Control Shift P, that hides those notifications. So I wasn't seeing any of those pop-ups related to electric service coverage not working. So first thing is we're going to turn on those notifications so we can see them. There we go. There's some electric problems. They're actually cropping up from that power plant being disabled. So step number 1, now we can actually see the problems. So sorry about that. That won't be an issue for anyone playing on console, but definitely if you have that mod. It's really useful if you're doing more creative builds, but not necessarily useful when we're actually trying to build a successful city up here. So I want to do something here. I'm going to come out. I'm going to make a tight network. We'll go right up to the edge of the other one there. And I want to expand our industry a bit. And this is going to be very much a temporary expansion. So don't build it this way if you aren't expecting to have a lot of problems with traffic, because I expect us to have a lot of problems with traffic as a result of this decision. We have all this truck traffic that's going to be funneling in and out of this intersection. This is very much just a temporary solution to get us on our road to future city growth. But absolutely wanted to do that. One of the other things that we have to look at is our garbage processing is already really low, which is super disappointing. These recycling plants don't help us out a lot. Though once that becomes active, and if we go on 3 times speed, it does get us into the green. So hopefully we're good there for now. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to cram in down here, and I'm already sick of the... We're going to spend our money so fast here. I'm already sick of all the... You know what? Let's do this. Hold on a second. Pause. Let's delete those. Let's delete these. Let's give ourselves just a little bit more room. If we go, I believe, 12 units, like so, now we can get 2 power plants in back to back if we want to do coal plants. And I'm already sick of those wind turbines. Yes. Okay. So we could have back-to-back coal power plants here. This will help us expand our power an awful lot. In fact, we should take a quick look at that and see how much we're overproducing. Almost twice what we need. So economy, budget, electric, and you need to move these independently. So let's go to 75% on day mode and, I don't know, 85% on night. And that should get our budget, well, it should get our availability, ooh, a little too tight. Little too tight. I don't want to micromanage too much, but I don't want to waste a ton of money overproducing. So let's go 85% on both. See where that sits us. We're into the green. We're okay. Hopefully I will remember when we have problems that I need to increase the budget before I need to add new power plants. But I've been known to forget those things in the past, so it might happen again. Does that line up perfectly? We'll connect it for redundancy. So our industrial has flattened out quite a bit. Of course, I'm recording episode 2 before episode 1 premiered, so I don't know about the feedback on this, but I'm going to make it day mode for now, and we'll take a look at night in our city a little bit later. We'll come back to this as well. So we hit Boomtown. I'm planning on talking about Tiny Town and Boomtown today because we didn't get to Tiny Town on the last episode. Okay, so we've got hide problems turned off. That was step number 1. A temporary industry area for some of that expansion. We've got additional power and garbage. But the other thing is that with a power plant over here, we're going to want to have some additional fire coverage. So let's put another plant in right next door. In fact, literally right next door to the power plant. In case that has a fire, that could be a very expensive mistake. So we'll make sure that we're protecting that. Again, this piece is all temporary. It's going to get very much restructured. We may still use this space, but I need to buy kind of two tiles here to make this work. So it's going to be a little while before we can really break that out the way that I want to. What I wanted to do today, well, was a couple things, a bunch of things. Let's knock something out right off the bat, though, and that is high school coverage. So as a part of the Tiny Town milestone, we unlocked high school, and we'll do a default here. What if we did it, you know, kind of on the side of this street? We'll let a couple businesses move back in here. Or we could fill it in with some trees. I don't know. Let's fill it in with some trees. We don't need every square inch of the city to be filled. And if we come back to it later, that's fine too. I think something just started building right there. So let's get a couple trees. Not the brush that I wanted. I just want to put in a couple palms. So let's do that, and then let's get a couple of these bigger bushes in here. Is that too big? I mean, I guess that's good for now. Maybe we get a nice little colorful tree here on the corner. That's fine for now. We've got high school coverage for a bit. I think our elementary we were running out of. We were. So let's get another elementary school maybe on this side. Might be good. And we'll do the default one this time around. And we'll face it into this this central avenue. And then why don't we do what we just did with the high school, and we'll de-zone. Oh, we don't even have that zoned up yet. Awesome. Well, that's even easier. So here, let's get a little bit of a buffer so we can get maybe a footpath through there. Can we do those yet? We must be able to. So we could do a footpath like right through here. And then we may as well zone right up on top of it. But that gives us a, you know, a tiny little buffer between residential and the school. A separation for a cut through, although it doesn't save pedestrians a lot of time. Rocks everywhere. There's a good one too. So I'm sure as we go, we'll find lots of these. This works on console the same way. So if you find something you want to delete, right, I can click on that and hold the button and then kind of just fly around. It will delete trees and rocks that are off the road, right, like that. But it's a good way to kind of clean up a couple things that might be in your way, like this tree in the middle of the road, like this rock in the middle of the road. I don't know why it's doing that. It's something to do with anarchy, even though anarchy was turned off when I was building the roads. So who knows exactly what that is? I don't know. Somebody in the comments probably will tell me. Okay, so hide problems, temporary industry area. One of the things I want to do next, and before we let too many people move in on this street to begin with, although I am going to let it play at 3 times speed so we can start earning some money. I want to come in here and do a basic 4-lane road. I'm not going to do any of the crazy asymmetric or modded roads. This is standard 4-lane road, and we're going to upgrade this. Now, this is going to come with its own problems. So we'll fix that in just a second. This intersection in particular is going to be problematic. And we're moving some people out, but that's okay. Because we're going to do a bit of a modification to this entire scheme here. Now, you might notice the problem right away. These intersections are very close, which for a residential neighborhood isn't a big deal. But on these 4-lane roads, it creates traffic lights everywhere. Now, I could go into my regular tool, click on a road, click on routes, right? I can go to junctions. I can modify things from here. I can do stoplights. I can turn them on or off. I can turn stop signs on or off. If I want traffic to flow on this main road, what makes a lot more sense is to use the stop sign there. Now, you could also, I think there's a way to do priority roads, but I'm not going to be doing this. I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. So I am going to use a mod for this called Traffic Manager. And just a quicker way to do this is going to save me some clicking and let me get on with the building. So when you click on a road, you can come up to Traffic Manager. You can click on a road, get the same menu. And basically, this button right here is going to apply stop signs on connected roads. So if we take a look real quick, anywhere that's connecting with this road, they have to stop, and it lets the traffic move on this main street. It's the exact same thing that you could do with consoles, switch included. You just have to do it manually at each intersection, unfortunately. I'm just using a button to do it a little bit quicker. The caveat that you should know if you're playing on PC is you don't want to mix those. So I've heard that you can get some pretty bad performance issues if you mix and match some of the built-in game intersections controls with Traffic Manager. So stick to one or the other. And if you're on PC and you're using Traffic Manager, I would say just stick to Traffic Manager. It's going to improve your workflow quite a bit. But again, you can do this exact same thing on consoles. You just have to click on each intersection to do that. And again, what I recommend is if you want traffic to move, don't stop it on that road. Stop it on the side streets that are connecting. Now, the other thing that we want to do here, though, is we've got so many intersections that are happening with this road. So for this piece, I am going to pause again. And we're going to come in. We're going to delete. Let's see here. Oops, wrong button. We're going to delete the last segment of each road here, not the little kind of one-way highway system we're kind of building in here with minimal intersections. We're going to leave that untouched. And then we'll delete 1, 2. We'll leave the third so that when we're coming in from here, it's 1, 2, leave the third. So it's kind of centered there on that block. So from here, 1, 2. Do we leave the third or do we leave, I think, the fourth here? Let's leave the third because this is a really short street. So we'll disconnect this one. But what I want to do, so let's get back to the 2-lane roads, standard roads, and we'll connect that one up. There's already a node there. We're good to go, but it has created a new problem. We'll come back and fix that in a second because it's added a traffic light back in. So what I want to do here is I want to bring these up so we can have as many houses as possible, but where it also doesn't eat into the zoning on this side. Because I want to do one of two things with that. I want to either do pedestrian cut-throughs or have some commercial along this main strip. So we'll bring that out to right there where it's almost eating into that zoning, but it's not. And we'll just do the same thing all the way down the road. So I could have done this when I was building it out, but I wasn't really thinking. So we'll see some of these pieces, some of these houses may get moved out. That is a concession that I'm willing to make, especially this early on in the build. We're doing our right for money so we can afford to rethink our zoning here. And I'm going to do commercial all... Whoops, I have to dezone first. I'm going to do commercial all along this strip on both sides. And this is going to become kind of a main street for us. I'll show you why in the overhead in just a second here. So let's think about free camera. So let's think about our traffic flow through the city so far. We've got this main highway exit, and that dumps out onto this 2-lane, one-way road system that kind of circles this area in the center of the town. So that is obviously going to be a very heavily trafficked main area that people are coming in and out of zones from. Now, if we kind of zoom out and think bigger, we're going to have different highway exits, and we'll probably want to have some sort of highway support that at least delivers some traffic pretty quickly down here. Maybe instead of this just terminating at an exit, we bring this all the way down underneath. I think I did that in my live stream build on Honu. But we'll come kind of underneath, tunnel out, and come over here so that this exit can also support on this side, hopefully. It may get a little heavy, but we'll find a way to make it work. But when we start thinking about moving people around the rest of the city, we need another main avenue, and this is going to be it right here because it has a nice line of sight to the other side of the island. So I think that will be a good spot for it. Let's go ahead and rename this accordingly as our main street. And did I did both sides in zoning. We're covered in water. We should be good on electric for a little bit. And when we're not, we're going to change the budget, hopefully. What's up with this abandoned house? Can we move it? Oh, we can. Okay. So maybe we keep that. Maybe we make that some kind of museum or throw it in the center of a park. I don't know. But we've achieved quite a bit already. So zoning wise, right, we can... Let's come down here and zone everything we can. there to there. And then we'll have a little bit of a commercial strip down here. And let's throw it on 3 times speed and hopefully start making some money, because we could use it. Spend it pretty quick. So what to talk about next? Oh, I guess before I forget, hold on. Let me reapply. Yeah, reapply that stop sign. Just make sure we're good here. So traffic's moving on this road. Anybody getting onto it will be stopped. And that should help us speed traffic around the neighborhoods. Now, one of the things I want to do, I'm not sure if we're there yet, but we can at least frame it out, is I want to bring this is going to continue all the way down here until it meets up with a coastal road. We will change this last segment most likely. So let's just do this. Let's bring this all the way down where it's even. We'll give people a turnaround. We will change these last 2 segments. Is that the standard road? It isn't. Standard road. Just because they have a turnaround now. And then let's change our direction on these. Okay, so we're gonna meet up with a coastal road here. We're not doing that coastal road yet, but I did want to frame out a little bit of space. You know what? I take this back. D-zone this. We're gonna turn this into a park. A little bit of a central park area, maybe down to this cross street, maybe a little bit further, I don't know. But let's come out straight tool to, let's see what 3 looks like if we do this. That's a pretty good space for a park, right? I mean, that's very decent. We've got electric pop-ups happening, which means that we might be right on the cusp. The problems start to happen on the edge of your grid first. Power radiates outwards. So let's just go in and budget it back up to 100%. I'm not going to come in here and micromanage it. There is an auto budget mod if you want to squeeze every penny you can that will keep it, just barely in the green constantly and auto monitor that for you. But we're doing well enough on the money front that I don't need to worry about mods like that. So this will be a little bit of a park area for us. In fact, we've unlocked it, so I think we can do that. Geez, if I remember where things like park area brush is it not? Like, don't you have to? It's under districts, of course. Paint park area. Okay. So we haven't done any districts or anything like that. I'm just going to do a rather large park area. We'll come into the small tool, or we'll try to 3 times. There we go. And should have actually done that right up to the road, so there's a little bit of spillover, but not too much. Like, see, 4-lane road, it lines right up perfect. If I go much closer to that in the 2-lane, it actually spills into the park area, and I don't want to cause any problems. So we'll have a little bit of a park over here. It's not going to be highly trafficked until we actually give people a reason to cut through. But if they're living over here on the left side and they want to come over to this commercial strip, that might do the trick for us. We've got a nice bit of demand across the board, so people are looking to move into our city. So we'll probably do another residential pocket up here, maybe over here. We're definitely gonna do more commercial and hotels and stuff along any of the big beach segments. So that's something that we'll save some space for. Now, just a quick look. We're actually almost about to hit our next milestone, which was I planning on talking about any of this today? I don't think that I was. We get some decorative roads and highways. That'll be really nice to start upgrading stuff. So we'll let that keep playing in the background. But I wanted to talk about a couple of things, again, that we unlocked in Tiny Town and Boomtown. So in Tiny Town, we got the park areas, which we just placed down our first. Industry areas, we're going to wait a little bit. Fishing, we're going to wait a little bit, but I definitely want to make that a heavy component of what we're doing here. It makes sense. We're in the middle of the ocean. We should be enjoying fish. We do want to talk about policies towards the end of the episode as well. Now, one thing that you can't follow along with on consoles, unfortunately, Switch, PlayStation, or Xbox is the Concerts DLC. We'll definitely look at a fun little area for that. But in terms of kind of what we need to do, I mean, we need to expand, right? And we do have another area. So, you know, what's going to give us the best? Well, this lets us kind of complete this coastal highway. Over here lets us kind of build over this way, and I think this is going to be a really cool region. This lets us get some more highway access, but not build down here. I think it's more tempting for me to buy this and then this, because it really lets us kind of build out most of the island structure. So I'm going to get this one next so that we can build out this bay. And I think, although this is a pretty cool looking beach area, I'd kind of like it to be, I think I'd kind of like this to be our industrial area. I don't know how effective that is, though. I don't know where the routes are. So we may have to look at that. If the routes are definitely out in the ocean, because you can see ships cruising by all day long. I don't think they have visibility here, but it looks like it is possible. So depending on that, we may or may not put a, oh, one of the things I had on my checklist today, we definitely need to address right now. So let's just do it. And that is cemetery coverage. So let's see here. What kind of room do we save ourselves? So we do have room for that on those central blocks. That's nice. Those space-saving blocks have just enough room for that. But let's kind of hide it up by the highway. Does that make sense? Would it be better to be down here? Let's do this. Kind of right central on that road. Right? We'll do something commercial up this way. Busy town. Okay, great. We're still talking about the last one. Slow down, game. Slow down. Time passes faster on my PC because of the CPU. Okay, so we got a new area. Things that we want to talk about later for sure, right? Industry area and fishing. Another one that we definitely want to leverage is going to be the ferries. So we're going to do, you know, I think ferry coverage to these other islands that we buy. This one is connected to the highway already. So we'll get ferry coverage out to these because those are large enough to sustain some build. And much later in the series, if we end up continuing and building onto the mainland, that'll have to be 81 tiles and the heavily modded section. In those cases, if we end up building out there, we'll probably do some ferry coverage that crisscrosses back and forth just because it makes sense out here. We got lots of water to work with, so may as well capitalize. Now, since we've got kind of this new little patch over here, and a new little patch means lots of new rocks in the roads. Anything else? Yeah, right there. Okay. So, we've got a new little patch out here. Let's take a look at one of the Sunset Harbor items. Technically two of them. I want to look at child health. Does that show impact area? Wow, that's actually kind of awesome right there. Because it just gets at the edge of our residential neighborhoods. We're going to bring this all the way up to the corner. Because why not? So let's do child health services right there. And let's do the elder care kind of in behind it. Maybe just enough space for a footpath between. So people can kind of cut this corner if they want to or connect into a interior grid. I was just going to use that space. Get out. Pause. Footpaths. So do we have... Turn off snapping here for a minute because I want to come right in the middle of that zone. Sort of like that. Right, so people can cut around and in behind here. Turn our snapping back on. Right. Yes. Okay. All right. So child health care, elder care, that's going to boost our population. So one, it'll boost the birth rate. the child care services. The elder services will help people live longer, so they'll stick around paying taxes longer. Not a bad thing. I'm going to come out to here because we're probably going to be pretty saturated with population on the mainland. But I'm not going to worry about watering the coastline just yet. We'll kind of see what we squeeze in there. So before we get out of here for today, I definitely want to talk about policies, but we've also unlocked some highways, and I would love to fix this up because this just doesn't make any sense, right? You've got 3-lane highway becoming a 2-lane road. People are parking on it, which is kind of obnoxious. Like, why would, like, the second you get off the highway, you're just parking in the first available spot? Like, dude, there is plenty of parking in the town. You could have kept coming a little bit. I don't know where you were going, but there was it doesn't matter. Like, this is as far away as you could park, basically, coming into the city. If you'd parked down here at the end of the street, you would have been closer to your destination. So I don't know. Roads. Highways. 2-lane highway. This is part of mass transit. If you don't have that, feel free to use the exit ramp or the 3-lane highway. Probably exit ramp makes more sense if you're coming off of a 1-lane, a 2-lane road like this. Now, right here, this actually works out okay. So only the right lane is turning, and then they can go into either lane. When they get down here, they can split into either lane. Same thing coming in, right? 2 lanes becoming 2. And I think they can just dump out into either lane. That's totally fine. But that makes things a little bit smoother, just from an entry and exit point, and things look a little bit nicer. I do want to convert this over to a trumpet, but that is not today's project, so we will worry about that one later. If anything, we could get a little work done on the park to at least start leveling this up a little bit, although it's going to be a really slow grind until we move more people into the other side of the area. Let's do this. Let's frame out medium roads right here. Let's frame this out a bit more so that we kind of know what we're dealing with for space. Right? This can run all the way across the island. That's totally fine. Again, we'll do the same thing down here. We'll stop it right there because we're going to hook this in to a more coastal road, but this kind of gives us some framework we can work off of. But I think the other thing I want to do at this point, I see a fire in the background there. I want to start pivoting and working off of some of these other lines. So in the next episode, we'll kind of define a road that wraps around here. I did not mean to do that. That's a little waste of money. And then we go to a cheaper road just in case I accidentally do that. And then we'll do a nice straight shot here along this beach and integrate that. And then, this is going to be just a little bit off the angles here. So, I did it again. Bulldozer. There we go. So we'll start to kind of work our way and fold things into this grid. It's just going to be a little bit off, which is perfect because that's how real life is. Cities aren't perfect grids. What is our problem here? Not enough workers. Not enough educated workers. So we'll get there. We'll get there. Let's do a quick little park here just to get some entrances and some objects going. Do we do a main park gate? I think that we do. And where would that entrance be? Would it be on the main street here? I think, right? Kind of smack across. 12. So we're one off center either way. So I'm going to go this way. Doesn't matter. That unlocks a bunch of stuff for us. We can do more side gates. So let's kind of line this up accordingly. I could turn those pop-ups off. We'll use this as a guide for where to line up. And then let's look at this from this side perspective. Maybe right about there. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Good enough. If I counted that right. If I didn't and it's crooked, Let me know in the comments down below, but I think I counted 9 on each side. So this way is centered, this way is 1 off, but that's fine. So we'll just kind of run some paths through the center of the park for now. We could do a little plaza in the center. Maybe even like a massive plaza in the center. If we, how does this look? What if we do this? Is this silly? Let's take a look at it. I mean, I don't think that's terrible. I think that's okay. I think that works. You know, it's not the most effective. We got visitors already, it looks like. But again, as this just becomes a pedestrian cut through, even this is going to be more effective at moving people around. Right now, they have no incentive to go to the other side of the park. But once we start moving people in, that will help us out quite a bit. Fires wise, how are we doing? We get good response. You just drove by. Why would you park? Why would you park there and then start spraying water in the middle of the street? That doesn't make any sense, buddy. You put it out though. Congratulations. So let me just kind of recap, right? What did we talk today? Well, we turned hiding problems off so that we can see those problems. Sorry again for that in the last episode. We built up a little temporary industrial area, and I mean, hey, we've got the space. Let's just fill in the rest of this block for now. If they want industry, they can have industry. There you go. We're going to need to worry about more commercial and residential. And where we're going to kind of do that is along the highway and along this main street for now. And then we're going to start moving in more people, you know, into this center area. Can I draw a square? So yeah, we're going to kind of have residential in here, right? And then along the coasts, we'll do some commercial tourism areas, right? So you get the tall hotels and things like that. Eventually, since it's a PC build, we will replace some of the buildings that we don't like. We'll mark them historical and get rid of some of the repeats and drop in some custom assets. Historical. We're keeping the pancakes. Look at all the students not getting anything done. You keep it up. And at this rate, we may as well put a Creative Arts Institute in. So, okay. I was kind of trying to recap real quick what we went through today. We turned off hide problems. We did a temporary industry area, power, fire, recycling. We converted over this road to a 4-lane. That is quite the mound there, but I can deal with it. So we converted that over. We've, started to make some space and decide where we want our next commercial flow to be. And in the next episode, we'll build out some more neighborhoods. Let's see. I did not mean to have commercial in the middle of that block. I don't know how I did that, but we can definitely have it all the way down here. Standard commercial. We'll eventually convert some of that over to, as we get down to the coastal areas, to the tourism. So we bought a new area. We'll buy another one as soon as we can, which I think is very shortly. 4,200, so about 1,000 population. If we get going on residents, that will absolutely fill in no time flat. So that's what we'll do on the next episode. We'll worry about expanding our population. I take it back. Hold on a second. I forgot about something for today. Policies. What have we unlocked? Well, God, I got to turn that one on. Sorry, we were almost out of here. And then I remembered I wanted to talk policies. It's the only thing that I'm pretty sure I forgot. So recycling, this is always good. Less garbage accumulation means our recycling plants can work a little more efficiently. What else are we going to do for now? Recreational use? Yes, because fight me. I'm not turning it off. I don't care. Free public schools out. So we don't need to worry about that. Recycle plastics. They work more efficiently. So the other one is what? Less garbage accumulation. Where is that one? Slightly reduced garbage accumulation, slightly reduced tax income. So that should allow us to stretch out our recycling plants a little bit further so we don't have to have 75 of them for 10,000 people. That's good for now. City planning wise, encourage biking, sure, but we're not really giving them any routes or reasons to. We'll work on that as we go. But I don't need to worry about any of this other stuff for the time being. Filter industrial waste. I want to keep that area clean, keep people happy. I guess we could do that. But that's it. We're just a brief look at the policies. Some of those do really help. Smoke detector distribution apparently would have been really helpful 5 minutes ago. Good work. So we'll come in here and have all kinds of fun in the next episode. Definitely kind of the first thing I think out the gate is going to be expanding our residential area to get people moving in. Before you know it, we're going to hit 36,000 in this city. It's not that much from a growth perspective because it's a small buildable area on the map. And at least when you're playing the way they intend with 9 tiles, it really is this island and the immediate surrounding islands. There's very little way to build and expand out to the mainland, as it were. But we will be able to do that with mods. Rocks and trees in the road. Find out how many more of those will crop up on the next episode. But hopefully you enjoyed this one. I think this is going to be a really fun build. We're not at the point yet. We're really still kind of framing things out. But as we start to get those coastal roads put in and framework stuff in behind them, that's when I'm going to start borrowing really some more inspiration. When we get into the downtown area, we're going to look at Honolulu and see kind of how that is actually assembled. It's not a great role model if you're trying to get a good traffic flow. It's notorious for some pretty bad traffic. But we're going to design it sort of like that. We'll see if we can make some improvements and not fall into the traffic traps. But hopefully you're enjoying the ride. And if you are, likes, comments, shares, they all help the channel a lot and they are all so greatly appreciated. I'm going to try and upload these. I don't know. I'm going to try Wednesdays and Saturdays, but I'm trying to put a little bit more work and thought into these. And when it comes to rendering things like cinematics, they take a lot more time. So I'm going to try, but keep an eye out for content Wednesdays, Saturdays. It might be a small tutorial. It might be back to console, but I'll be doing at least weekly Let's Plays in this series. So stay tuned for those. Subscribe if you're new and hit the bell to get notifications for updates in this and other series. If you'd like to support the channel, links to that and lots of other things are in the description down below. But until the next one, from the island of Honu, this is Move the Mouse, signing off.